Hi, it's Nikki again at Love is the Key. So, at the end of the last video, I was talking about how unconditional love is, in fact, loving without fear. It's in the absence of fear. And that to me is something very, very deep. It's not just, I don't fear, I'm not frightened. It's without total fear. Fear does not even have a place, it does not exist with unconditional love and with pure love. And I think, it's a hard place to get to. We start in this world created in love. And all we know is love because we have the divine within us. We have this divine love within us. And throughout our life, the fear covers that love. That love is always there. It's like the sunshine behind the clouds. It never goes away. Fear can, but love doesn't. Fear is learnt. Love is our natural state. And so we have this fear, almost like this ball of fire within us that stays all our life. And through whatever happens when we're children, through our families, through education, through the world around us, that love is buried with fear, like the cloud, like dust, like anything that's going to lay on top of that. And as I said in the other video, that our journey at the base, the absolute base of everything we do, it's learning to come back to love. And that the twin flame, which is at the end of our journey here on earth, it's unconditional love when we get there. And it's because we've learned to let go of this fear, and when we finally get to twin flame, the fear does no longer exist. And what's made me realize, in fact, is through to the work that I do with emotions, with emotion code, with my art, I've always had this feeling that I was helping people release their fears and their blocks. And it has only just come into my mind just now what that really is. And of me and Steve, my twin, we've seen and keep seeing that every single grain of our lives in the past was to do with our twin flame journey. Every single part of us, everything, we keep looking back and thinking, now I get it now. That's why I did this, because I need it now. It's part of where I am. And yet all the work I've done has been about releasing the fears and the blocks to help people live a life in alignment with their soul. And I've just realized how huge that is, because it's like I see the person's soul behind this stone wall, these old dry walls, dry stone walls that we see in the UK. And that to get to that soul, to get to that place, we have to start taking off these stones one by one to find our aligned soul behind it. And with emotion code, that is what I do. Basically, each emotion that we take off is like taking off a stone off this dry wall to reveal another part of the person. And I just find it absolutely profound, in fact, that everything I've been doing, in fact, is about helping people to get back to love. That's, all these negative emotions that we feel, whether, it's anxiety and shame and guilt and rejection and abandonment, at the end of the day, they are based on fear. It all goes back to fear. It's just one root. And through life, we have the two basic choices. Do I choose love or do I choose fear? Am I choosing this because I'm running away from fear? Or am I choosing it because I'm running to love? And that is it. That is if you take everything away, that is the base of life. And so releasing negative emotions is releasing every grain of fear. And that is a huge revelation to me, and I really want to share that on here because I just think it's just massive. It's massive in my work. It's massive now of where I want to take that part of what I do with emotion code and my intuitive art. It's really helping that person to see their soul, and the more we release those emotions, the more that person has the glimpses of who they're meant to be. Because one by one, when we take off those stones off that wall, it lets the light shine more. And our soul is like a glowing light, and the fear dims that light. And so that the more we release those fears, the more that light shines brightly. And it's profound because I've often seen people who are full of fear. I just see them in these stone towers of not looking behind that brick wall because it just terrifies them, and these walls keep coming up. They keep coming up in so many different ways, and now I've just seen it as this glowing light behind this stone wall, for releasing that. And now I'm on this journey where, of loving without fear, it becomes even clearer now. And I think that to me is even clearer on the mission of helping others to release this fear. And as we're now coming to this world where, for me, I think it's going to be based more on love for one another, love in the community, love for the planet, rather than making people react in fear. And so I think my role for emotion release is definitely going to get more and more profound, I think. And now I've had that insight, it's given me a whole new perspective on what I do. So it's a shorter video than others, but I think it's just worth me saying, and I've also put it on here to one, just to say to you, but also for me probably to go back to, and just to remind myself of that part of my work. And as part of that, I do have videos, and I have a website. My own website is nikkipeet.com. I'll put the link in the description, because on that website I describe the emotion code, and you can find us Love is the Key on Facebook. I will also put the links down at the bottom as well, so you can find us, our page and our group, to know more about what we do. And as the blog and website builds, I will also be putting that up as well. So thank you very much for listening to my little moment of light bulbs.